Hello everyone. Shall we learn something about linguistics today? What is linguistics? Linguistics is the scientific and structural study of any language. Today, let's see something about English linguistics. Come on, let's get started. Today, let's see a small topic that everyone knows and we are well aware of it. That is nothing but clauses. Right from our school days, we have learned a lot on clauses like main clause, subordinate clause, etc. Today, let's see clauses as a part of grammar in the work of Derbyshire. First of all, what is a clause? A clause is a sentence-like segment of a sentence which behaves or functions either as a nominal group or as a segment or as a modifying adjunct. So, we know a lot of details on clauses, right? So, a clause will be structurally similar to a sentence. It will also be having, say, a subject, object, complement, intransitive verb, passive verb, etc. So, in order to study the clauses, we can study it mostly in the same way as we study the sentences. So, in clauses we will be having many groups, right? Like that. In order to study the syntagmatic relations between each groups of a clause, we can study in the same way as we used to study the active and passive sentences. But there should be some difference, right? So, what is that difference is, when these clauses occur as adjectival adjuncts alone, the objects, they occur before the subjects. That is, they occur in the beginning of the sentences. So that now it would be comfortable for us to classify clauses before we classify the subjects. Yeah, now another doubt arises. How to classify clauses? Can we classify it on the same way as we used to classify the sentences? Yes, we can. But these clauses, they mainly occur as the nominal groups, or they occur as the adjuncts to the heads of the nominal groups, or they occur as the verb bases. So, it would be right and even more comfortable for us if we classify these clauses on the basis of their function. When we classify these clauses on the basis of their function, we have three main types of clauses. What are they? They are nominal clauses, adjectival clauses, and adverbial clauses. Now, let's see each one of these types in detail. Now, first of all, nominal clauses. What are nominal clauses? They function as nominal groups or segments. The clauses here function as nominal groups or segments. We can call it as noun clauses also. So it will be appearing in 5 positions that will be mentioned already in the previous section. So now let's see just a few examples, 5 examples in each of the 5 cases alone. So now let's get into the examples. First example is, whatever he did was wonderful. So now here, whatever he did, it is a clause, right? So here, this clause has come in replacement of a subject, and so it is subject. So next one is, that is what he said. So here, what he said has come in the place of a complement. So it is a complement clause. Next, he said that they were discussing the development program. He said what? That they were discussing the development program. So here it acts as an object, right? So this clause here acts as an object. Next, he did everything except what he should have done. Here, what he should have done have come as a replacement of a preposition. So he did everything except that. So it can be like that, right? So this is a preposition. Next, the fact that he said so is enough for me. This has come as a position. A position is nothing but it will be giving the relation between two nominal segments in the same sentence. So look at this sentence. We have two nominal segments and that he said. So this clause has come in relation to that. So it has come as an opposition here. So I hope you are clear with the nominal clauses now. Now shall we go with the adjectival clauses? Yeah, now let's proceed with the adjectival clauses. Adjectival clauses function as post modifiers of the heads of the nominal segments. For example, let us take a sentence. Those people who have not seen it with their own eyes would never believe it. Here, who have not seen it with their own eyes is a clause. So, who have not seen. So this is a nominal clause followed by with their own eyes. So here it acts as a post modifier. So we call this one as an adjectival clause. But theoretically, when we see that there is no noun in the nominal segment that can be post modified. So we can distinguish these adjectival clauses on the basis of stress, intonation and juncture. So we can call them as qualifying clause or non-qualifying clause. So qualifying clause is nothing but it will be distinguishing a man that is referred from other people. The non-qualifying clause is nothing but it will be just introducing a piece of information merely into the sentence. So let's take an example. The man who had a bad cold, let us say. Here, who had a bad cold is a clause, right? So here, this clause distinguishes the man from other men. So we can say this as a qualifying clause. So this we said it on the basis of stress, intonation and juncture. So these are the things about adjectival clauses. We have to just note the qualifying and non-qualifying clauses most importantly in this topic. Now let's get into the adverbial clauses. So what are adverbial clauses? Adverbial clauses function as adjuncts to the verb basis to lexemes like adjectives and adverbs or as sentence adverbs that we have already seen. So English language, it allows a wide range of adverbial clauses. So we have a lot of adverbial clauses, but we can classify them under two main functions. So the first function is nothing but to restrict the area of reference of the verb basis. For example, if I say she dances, so here we can restrict the dances verb to some extent like when she danced, where she danced, how she danced, like that. So in order to restrict the area of reference to some particular time or place or manner or condition, we use the adverbial clauses. These adverbial clauses can be introduced by certain morphemes like when, after, before, while, where, as if, unless, although, etc. So let's see an example. I shall be ready. I shall be there if I am ready. So here, if I am ready is a clause. So this gives us the time, right? When I shall be there when I am ready, if I am ready. So here it acts as a reference to the time. So we can call it as an adverbial clause. So we have another example like I shall do it although I am unwilling. How I am doing it although I am unwilling. So we can call it as an adverbial clause. The second function is that to indicate the comparisons signaled by the words like than, as, etc. to compare two things. When we say something like this is more or most or as, when we use these words or when we use the words like than, as, etc., we use them to compare two objects or two persons or two things. So in those situations, we can make use of these adverbial clauses. Let's take an example here. He has given you more than he has given me. Here than he has given me is a clause. So he has given you more than he has given me acts is a comparison between two persons, and it also involves the word called than. So we can call it as an adverbial clause. Similarly, a dollar is not worth as much as a pound is. So here we can say that as much as a pound is. That is a clause. So here this is also used to compare two objects, and we can call this one also as a clause. So in this adverbial clauses, we have to just remember these two important functions. And that's it about adverbial clauses. So today we just had a gist of what are clauses, what are nominal clauses, adjectival and adverbial clauses. Hope you all are clear with this topic. Let's meet in another interesting topic on another beautiful day. Thank you everyone for listening to my video, and thank you for this opportunity. Bye everyone. Stay safe.